Good morning to each and everyone, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. My name is Asmira Imdiang, together with my partner, Miss Nasiba Kidandayo and Ariana Emba. So our report is all about informative, persuasive, and argumentative communication.
Good morning to each and everyone. My name is Nasiba Kidandayo, BSED Filipino 1A. So I will be discussing the topic about informative communication. So what is informative communication? Informative communication, it is a focuses on helping the audience understand a topic, issue, or technique more clearly. Informative communication ranges from brief emails to formal written reports to digital or in-person persuasion or turning about a new process or system. Communication is made for numerous purposes. The way messages are crafted depends highly on the intention of the sender. Each message serves a purpose, whether to encourage, to inform, argue. It means informative communication is a form of communication that aims to provide information, knowledge, or understanding to the guidance about a specific topic, issue, or technique. The main objective is to help the audience gain clarity and comprehension about the subject matter.
Morning to each and everyone, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Asmira Imdiang. So this is continuation of our report. Persuasive communication refers to the process of conveying a message with the intention of influencing other beliefs, attitude, or behaviors. The goal is to convince or persuade the audience to adopt a particular viewpoint, take a specific action, or make a decision. So, persuasive communication is a key of aspect of international communication and is often used in various settings, including business, politics, and everyday life. So, ang persuasive communication ay ang proseso ng pagpapahayag ng isang mensahe na may intensyon na impluensyahan ang paniniwala, pananaw o pag-ugali ng iba. So, ang pangunahing elemento ng persuasive communication ay ang nagpapadala o sender. Ang sender po ay ang taong nagtatalaga ng makumbensi. So, pangalawa is ang tinatanggap o receiver, ang taong kinakumbensi. So, pangatlo is ang mensahe. So, ang mensahe ang nilalaman ng ipinapadala upang makumbensi ang receiver. Pang-apat is ang technical na estratehiya. So, ang technical na estratehiya ay ang pamamaraan na ginagamit ng sender upang makapersuader. So, ang mga halimbawa ng persuasive communication ay makikita sa negosyo, politika, at sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay. Ang layunin nito ay upang makapagpasya, kumilos o magbago ang pananaw ng receiver alinsunod sa mga layunin ng nagpapadala. Effective persuasive communication often involves employing strategies such as clear, compelling argument, emotional appeal, credibility in understanding the needs and perspectives of the target audience. So, ang effective persuasive communication o mga elemento ng epektibong persuasive communication ay ang una is ang clear and compelling arguments. So, ang paggamit ng malinaw at kapanipaniwala na mga argumento ay mahalaga para makumbensi ang audience. Ang mga argumento ay dapat may malakas na logical na batayan at makatwiran. Ang pagpapakita ng ebidensya at datos ay nakakatulong upang suportahan ang mga argumento. Pangalawa is ang emotional appeal. Ang paggamit ng emotional na pag-aapila ay maaring makatulong upang makumbensi ang audience. Ang paggamit ng mga emotional na kwento, imahe o mensahe ay maaring makaimpluwensya sa pananaw at damdamin ng audience. So, number 3 is credibility. Ang credibility is ang pagpapakita ng kredibilidad at katapatan na nagpapadala ng mensahe ay mahalaga para makumbensi ang audience. So, sa credibilities is kailangan din ang paggamit ng mga eksperto, otoridad o taong may mataas na integridad na nakakatulong sa pagbuo ng kredibilidad. So, Sa number 4 is ang understanding the needs and perspective of the target audience. So, dito is ang pag-unawa ng mga pangangailangan, interes at pananaw ng target audience ay mahalaga para makagawa ng epektibong persuasive communication o ang pagsasaayos ng mensahe upang tumugma sa mga ito ay nakakatulong sa epektibong pakikipag-ugnayan. So, ang kombinasyon ng mga elemento na ito ay nagbibigay daan sa isang epektibong persuasive communication na maaring makombensi ang audience. So, yun lamang po at maraming.
My name is Ariana Emba. So, my topic is all about argumentative communication. Argumentative communication, modern approach to making decision, considers real argumentation where rational communicators do the best they can do justify their standpoint in a certain context. So, argumentative communication is argumentative individuals advocate position on controversial issues and verbally attack other people's contradictory perspective. In a word, it is an underlying motivation to argue. However, it is important to note that it is the person's position that is under attack in argumentativeness and not the individual. This considered to be argumentative communication, the art of persuading based on reason, on facts, and not emotion. So, ito ay may tuturing na pagkikipagtalastasan na komunikasyon at panghihikayat batay sa katuwiran at sa katotohanan at hindi sa emosyon. Mga halimbawa ng argumentative communication is isa dito yung debating, argumenting, and audience. First is debating. Debating, explaining reason why certain theory can or cannot be considered persuading. Debating is a formal discussion between two or more people who present arguments on a particular topic. Next is argumenting. Argumenting, persuading the audience to support the speaker's thesis. Ang argumenting naman is ay paghihikayat sa madla or sa audience na suportahan ang tagapagsalita or ang nagsasalita. Last is audience. Audience, it the core focus around which an effective debate is concave and formulated. And also, audience are key elements to the debate as they give emotional appeal to the arguments. In some informal debates, audiences are the judge to the debate. Ang audience is ito yung pangunahing focus sa paligid kung saan ang isang epektibong debate or debate ay naiisip at nabubuo.